So...
Hang on. Welcome to episode 12 of OverDrive. A couple of changes that have been happening. We now have a mobile app for the website. This has been done through the Beezer platform, so it works on Android, iOS, Windows Phone, you name it. If you've got a web browser, it'll work on it. A couple of changes on the website as well at www.overdrive-online.co.uk. We have the new garages community, and we've all been posting in there. You've got a forum on there as well, which you can join in with, and a few things where we can all interact. But first up, let's get into the main episode itself. And Craig.
Yeah, well, I'll go with this one. We've got a Vauxhall Corsa, a 1 litre, which I know doesn't sound very interesting, but do bear with us. There's a bit more to it than that, particularly on a personal level for me, so I hope you enjoy watching it as much as we do filming it. You may see I've got someone here with me.
Hello.
You might see the family resemblance. That's my brother. This is Ashley. He owns the car.
It goes to work with me 4 times a week. Probably about a total of about 18 or 20 miles a week. No more than that, so we're looking at about 2,000 miles a year. So it doesn't do a lot of mileage at all now.
And that's obviously down in Lincoln. It's made the trip up here to West Yorkshire, so a bit of a trip out for this little car, but it's probably done it good to have a run, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it probably got a bit shocked when it started to go onto the motorway.
And the main thing is to note about this car, it really is... Well, a couple of different things really, but firstly its condition, immaculate, and I've not been in a car this clean, I don't think, all year. Inside and out it is spots. You're a bit of a car cleaning enthusiast, aren't you? The other thing to note about the car is it is slightly, well, I say slightly modified. It is really purely cosmetic. Because I actually started doing stuff to it myself when I had the car, probably 12 years ago now. So you've got all the mature interior parts, stuff like your gear knob, your handbrake. You've got the aftermarket armrest you're able to get at the time, and a few exterior things as well, the front splitter, the grille, that kind of thing. A lot of which now are obsolete. A lot of these parts you can't get anymore, so it does make it quite unique.
A bit of a time warp, and like you say, the things that you could get then you can't really get hold of now.
Can you give it a good valet every now and again, and little bits in between? What sort of things and the things you use to do that?
There's quite a routine that I've got. It gets waxed twice a year. I use Autoglim H, which is a fantastic wax to use. But this car gets waxed twice a year, and I also use their gloss protection.
So you're a fan of Autoglim
Yeah,
stuff?
I think some of their products, I've been using them ever since I started washing the car, to be honest, and they keep the bodywork in absolutely immaculate condition. I do use other products as well. But it gets washed on a weekly basis.
I should note we're not promoting any brands here. This is just purely to give you guys an idea of what Ashley uses to keep the car looking in the condition that it is. We're not promoting any brands. It's just a bit of consumer advice.
Yeah, it's a bit of consumer advice really. You know, a lot of people have different ways of doing things. Go through quite an extensive
testing.
Yeah. Other people, you know, their different products work good for different cars. Finesse products, I've been using are very good. There's a citrus power and that is a sort of a bug remover. But before I start any of the wash, I always spray a little bit around the bottom of the vehicle. There's a bit of road grime on it, and I spray that on first before I rinse the car, and then I just shampoo it, rinse it again, and dry it off.
So there's a bit of a process involved there. Any degreaser engine or anything like that? So I don't really need to these days.
I've used degreaser in the past, but because now I
keep on top of it.
On top of it, that's a good phrase. Keep on top of it. So I just use the Autoglim.
Like a dressing type thing.
And it's basically Auto Finesse do that as well. Actually, and I was planning to go black with the wheels, so I got that done first. So I had that vinyl wrapped. So the roof at the minute is not painted black. It's actually vinyl
wrap,
which is it's so much, probably about half as much.
And there's a couple of things you've still to do to the car, isn't there?
Yeah, there's obviously Craig's mentioned the Hampshire front splitter, which is quite a subtle modification, and I'm going to be having the Hampshire side sills. They'll be painted blue as well, so that'll tie in quite nicely with the sort of side-on stance of the car. And then just to finish it off, Hampshire's IRS spoiler, and it will give the car, especially from the rear and from the side, I think it will give it a really nice profile.
It would.
I also do a wheel soap, called Revolution, and I spray the Imperial on and then use the Revolution. So they work in tandem, and they really, really look after the wheels well. So hopefully they won't get attacked by the dreaded road salt that no doubt will be coming along soon. I'm
assuming you use different sort of products for your tyre dress and your bumper trim and the plastic trim and stuff like that.
I used go back to Autoglim products for them, so it's kind of a hybrid of both. But like I said earlier, I've found what products work best for me in this car for different jobs. So Autoglim have their tyre gel. I put the gel on. I use that in conjunction with the Maguire's tyre applicator. The good thing with that is it's got like a little. It's got somewhere where you can store it. It's not messy. So you can pop it straight back in its holder, and you can store it in a clean environment. And for the plastics on the bumper, I use the Autoglim bumper gel.
That's really good.
Works really well as well.
It does. I mean, you look at the outside of the car, and I should emphasise again, this car is absolutely spotless. It's almost. I mean, what's this car? It's about.
It'd be in February 17 years old.
17 years old.
So
right? You heard it here first. This car is 17 years old.
It's a hobby.
It is a hobby. It really is immaculate, and as is exterior and interior. I'd be surprised if a brand new car looked like this. And it's still the original 1 litre engine.
It's still the original. Well, it is the original 1 litre. But people forget that it's actually a 3-cylinder.
It is a 3-cylinder.
Not a 4-cylinder.
It is a 3-cylinder.
So it's a 1 litre 3-cylinder.
Obviously, it's had a lot of new parts over the years, of course.
But it's had things like timing chain, things like that. But I think that's just testament to a car's mileage is just a number. If you look after a car, it's like a fine wine. It gets better with age.
Well, I mean, it is how you look after it, and not only obviously do you look after it cosmetically, you look after it mechanically as well. You get it serviced on time,
service
regular oil changes, all that. Obviously goes to prolong the longevity of the engine.
It's just gone through. Actually, it's just had some work done. I couldn't find one anywhere in the country. It's just had a second-hand but very, very good condition brake servo, because that was leaking. That had actually corroded, a hole in it. So that was done, and it also had the brand new wiper mechanism fitted to it. And the wipers are almost seized.
That's the thing. If the car of this age now, this is obviously Corsas were and still are very common, but certain parts are becoming slightly harder to find, such like that, and you forget that. And it's when you start needing to find parts like that, you actually realise actually how old the car is. So I bought it myself 20 years ago. I think I paid about 3,600 quid.
I've got the original, your original receipt at home, and it's £3,600.
Right.
You paid for it.
There you go. So, with 35,000 miles on. So I think it's fair to say we've had as money's worth out of this car.
We very much have, but it's a bit of a more than sort of a car now. It's very much a hobby for me. It's something, it's something for me to do. And
it is. And of course, it's not the fastest car in the world. It's not the most expensive car in the world.
It's not at all.
But I always think, when people ask me what is it that makes a car great to you, and it's not always about that. It's about how it makes you feel. It is really a family heirloom, to be honest.
It's part of the family. It has a bit of history to it. I think the thing is with a car these days, not many cars have a really interesting story behind them.
And that's the thing.
It has history with it.
That's the thing. The story behind the car is sometimes the most interesting thing about it. It certainly has a bit of history to us. It's incredibly well looked after, as is obvious.
I think you enjoyed having a bit of driving it.
It's been a while since I've actually seen it as well, and I am thrilled that it is in the condition that it is and still going as it is, and I'm no doubt that it's got many more years left in it yet. That's it for that. I'm sure you can message Ashley. He's on all the social media.
Yeah, I'll put my links in the. What do you have now? Credits?
Something like that.
I'll put my info in the credits. So any regular posts of my cleaning, on activities.
If you do have any questions for him, feel free to message him.
I don't know anything, but if you message me with a question,
no, we're not claiming to be car detailing experts.
I'm a hobbyist at the end of the day, and if you ask me a question, I might know the answer, I might not, but there's a chance that someone else will definitely know the answer.
No, like I said, we're not claiming to be car cleaning sort of experts by any means, and like I said, we're certainly not promoting any products. We're just obviously telling you what Ashley uses to keep his car looking nice.
My boot's there just to purely accommodate my car cleaning products.
If you look in the boot, you will find it is full of car cleaning equipment, so it's not exactly a practical car because you can't get anything else in it. So hope you enjoyed that. It's been really nice for me in particular to catch up with a car and sit in it and drive it again, even though it is only a Corsa, but it is a bit more than that to us. Thanks to Ashley for driving all the way from Lincoln to show us the car again.
I don't often get to talk about my car like this because my partner's not massively into cars.
Let's just say she's not a car cleaning enthusiast.
Or she's not an enthusiast of the car either. But it's been really nice for me, so thank you very much.
That's alright, and it's been a little bit something different from OverDrive. I know we don't normally do car cleaning videos. But
it could be a niche you could get into.
It could be, yeah. It's something we could explore. So please let us know, actually, if you want to see more of that kind of thing. We will, if that's the case, we'll try and do our best and see what we can come up with on that side of things. But again, great for me. Thanks, Ashley, for coming up. We hope you enjoyed learning a bit about this particular car, and you maybe even got a bit of advice. I don't know. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Right, so that was the Corsa, and what a car that was, I must say.
It was certainly shiny.
It was a surprising car, that's
yeah.
To do.
It was a surprise, not quite as much for me as it was for you two.
No.
But yeah, it's interesting all the same.
But now I've got someone to take you to the other end of the scale, let's say. We popped into NK Prestige Motors.
As we do.
As we always seem to do. And we stumbled upon this car, and what a find. It's an Audi R8 Spyder, and it was a gorgeous car. I'm sure you'll agree when you see my expression when I say this car. It's a whopping car. So here comes the Audi R8 Spyder. Today, as the sun is eluding us, I'm sat in a convertible of all cars. But what a convertible I've found today at NK Motors. This is an Audi R8 Spyder, and we're talking a 5.2 litre engine with a 0 to 60 time of 3.3 seconds, and this is the bit that gets me, a massive top speed of 203 mile an hour. V10 engine, absolute sweet sound to it. I have never heard anything like this in my life. It is purely like amplified thunder. And I really think this colour suits this whole bag. It's just got it going on. You may know from videos in the past that I did an Audi R8 and compared it with the Lamborghini Gallardo, and I did say I found the insides was all very polished and, as I referred to, typically German and zinc worktops and so on. But in this Spyder I seem to find, I'll not say they've toned everything down, but I'd say for my liking they've got everything right this time. But it's sharing now with the Lamborghini Gallardo, the V10 engine and so on, double clutch, everything. It's packed, it's got the lot. We've got as usual sat nav, there's climate control, we've got everything you'd expect with Audi. So what do we find in this thing? We find as full leather. If you're looking for logos, you've got the R8 on the dash, you've got the V10, and the moment you put your foot on the pedal, you know you're in a car like this purely by the noise. It doesn't feel cramped, I'd say, considering it's a convertible. Some may say this seems a bit gloomy because everything is on the black side. We have a dark carbon fibre on the trim around the console and door handles, and we've got a lot of black plastics going on through the centre console around going to the gear shift. Fortunately we get the metal gear knob and everything that just breaks everything, and we've got as lovely tactile dials for the vents, temperature things, and for the stereo, navigation, everything. We've got as regular flappy paddle gearbox, it's automatic, and we've got the sport button. I really wish Audi wouldn't do this with this sport button because of it putting the exclamation mark up when you press it, but we'll gloss over that. Bar that, I really love this car. I saw it first with the roof down. It is a vinyl roof, now it's up. Yes, I'd live with it, and I'd live with it for one reason: this absolute sound it makes, because I could feel the floor and the walls shaking when this was brought outside. And even on tick over, it just sounds the part. And to say you are in a convertible, the seats, beautifully figure hugging, but not squashing you in. They're just right. They're a good shape to them. And the back is nicely finished, to say it's sort of cut off really with being a convertible. Right, before it absolutely pours down, I want to point out some good features of the outside of this car. Firstly, the wheels. I really like the shape and pattern of these wheels, how they're cut. My only little, I won't say is a niggle, maybe I would have liked to have seen, maybe in a black edging with them or something like that, just to break it a little bit, but I do like what's going on with them, the styling. Calipers usual of Audi, we've got the R8 logo, black obviously to complement with being white. We've got a lovely V10 badge on the side, which I like features like this. We have the carbon fibre going on in the middle, really sets it off. And then they've gone a bit different with colours. Not sure what Audi was thinking here, but it works. We have like a polished metal on the A-pillar, and obviously going right around the top of the roof, which really breaks it, gives it some contrast. But then what I did spot, going around the back, where these vents are for this roof part, we have a different sort of satin finish going on. And I really like that as well. I think it looks good from all angles. It really looks nice heading when you see it from the back, the way it sweeps along like that. But they've got these varied colours going on, I think, which complements this colour. Maybe it complements, let's say, black or whatever other colours they do, but it really sets it off well. I like the piano glossy black finish we have as it goes down with the vents. And what I really like about this car, I love it, these tailpipes. Channel tunnel sized tailpipes, these, you can get a wagon through them, they're massive. And what I found with these headlights, and I only just noticed it, I've never seen anything like this before, but basically what we have is 3 bulbs behind, which are then magnified through a lens. Obviously everything above is actually black as well. With the roof up, it's all black, but it's not really, I'd say, gloomy. It doesn't make you feel a bit dreary to be in this car, and how could it? A powerful car like this is a driver's car. Nice, and it's proper glass that pops up at the back as well. No gimmicky plastic going on and all that. It's a nice proper heated little back windscreen that goes up when the roof's up, all nice and tidy. Looking at all your switches and so on, as well as your cracker sport button. You've got your ESP off, your differential, you can knock that off, you can change your settings for your suspension and everything. Also, you've got your heated seats, as you'd expect. But yeah, it's exactly what you need with a convertible. There's nothing lacking in anything at all. I really like this car in such a way I could not get bored of this. But yeah, I think it's just a lovely, comfortable place to be. I really, can I say, admire this car. It is four-wheel drive, of course, it's quattro, and it's just a lovely sounding beast. It really is. I always said it about Audi and the German thing, it's anal attention to detail, and they've done it again with this. Everything suits. The sound system, we have got a beautiful sound system. It's Bang & Olufsen. They're good. I think we had this in the Audi R8 that we looked at before. And again, they're not going to skimp it out of the Germans, are they, with anything? Everything is perfect. I really could just sit in here all day long. Unfortunately I can't because it's not my car. But there you go. And yeah. The outsides of the car of this, I think, makes it. The outsides are the main feature of this car, as well as the engine and the sound. But what a monster! A 203 mile per hour car, a 3.3 second 0 to 62 time, with a whopping V10 engine. What more would you expect from Audi? I'm really impressed with this car, and I'm sure you would be as well. Anyone who's seeing this who's into the Audis, likes the convertibles and so on. Forget the poor weather we might be heading towards now. I'd still say this is a choice of a car to have even now. So yeah, it's a very good car. Looking at the displays, I will say, it's very vibrant and clear. It's all white on black, but at night I know this would be the most clear display to see, actually. It's just so the driver is so engaged. He knows where he is, basically, because everything is like built around the driver, and that's one thing I like. It's not as polished and finished as the Audi R8 I looked at before. It's what I'd prefer, this one. So yeah, it's got the styling, it's got the looks, it's got the sound, it's got everything you need on the inside, and if you've got the money, it's yours.
That was the Audi R8 Spyder, and what a car that is. Now, at the time of filming this, there are actually two of those now available at NK, so if you're quick, you might be able to grab yourself a pretty decent car. But on with this episode, and myself and Craig had a thought about what optional extras are good on cars, and we decided to take a look at a couple of cars, but one of them we're going to focus on in this particular show. But if you watch the extended one that comes out later, we actually focus on two separate cars. But for this one, do you want to tell them what we're going to look at?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at a BMW 318 SE with a manual transmission, which is the entry-level model to the 3 Series range.
It is, yeah.
We chose this simply because the 3 Series is one of the most popular cars in the UK, and it can come with a plethora of optional extras. So we decided to take a look and see what was worth it, what wasn't worth it, and what we disagreed on.
Yeah. What we disagree. So, let's have a look at the optional extras available, or some of the optional extras available on the BMW 318 SE. We're looking at optional extras on cars. Are they worth it? What gives you the additional value? What can actually affect the resale value of your car? Some optional extras might actually reduce the value of your car in future more than others. Others will add more to the residual value.
Very, very true. It really does depend on what you spec out, doesn't it?
It does, and individual taste to an extent.
There are certain things, of course, that you as a consumer will know full well when you buy the car aren't making the slightest difference to the value or desirability. They're just what you want at that time, and that's fair enough.
So what we've got a BMW 318 SE.
True. Now obviously the 318 SE, to those in the know, will realise of course that is the entry level 3 Series. What we are doing is looking at the optional extras available to the buyers of them cars. Right then, so first up, the BMW. Now it does have, like I said, it's an entry level 3 Series, and the starting price on the road, with all taxes and such like, £27,800 is what that kicks off at.
Assuming you don't get a deal.
True, and we should point out this is with a manual gearbox as well. Okay, so auto box on the
BMW,
3 Series.
So the base 318 SE has an option of the automatic gearbox, and a lot of people do like the automatics on the BMWs. And to be fair, they are really, really good, quite reliable. But the Autobox option is an additional £1,550. Now, this might seem quite excessive. However, if you actually look at BMWs that are in the marketplace, and BMWs that are actually traded quite often and sell well, they tend to be the automatics.
The Autobox on the 3 Series is not going to harm the value at all. In fact, if anything, it would probably help it, but it would certainly help the desirability, I think. I have driven them myself as well, and I do know that the Autobox on the 3 Series is fantastic. Okay, so metallic paint then, moving on the 3 Series, £665.
Now, I think that's worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if there was any option you were going to have on a 3 Series, if you can only have one,
It would be metallic paint.
Do it metallic. That's going to be a good option to have on the car. It's certainly one that you're not wasting your money on at all.
That's true.
Moving on, leather upholstery. Now this is a £1,295 option on the 318. Even though this is, like I said before, an entry level 3 Series, I think that's an option worth having.
Yeah.
It really does bring the interior up. I have seen them with cloth seats, and
To be fair,
it doesn't quite suit it.
True, but to be fair, the cloth seats are still almost as comfortable and hold your
Oh, the
legs
shapes
as
are
well.
exactly the
The
same.
shapes, right?
Yeah.
But I agree that leather would suit the car more.
You're not necessarily going to get that back for it in return. It certainly will, though, make the car a lot easier to sell. I'm pretty certain of that.
Yeah.
Certainly an option worth having. Okay, now there's a lot of option packages on the 3 Series available, as well as the individual options. So we're not going to go through everything here. We're just going to go through a few highlighted options that we think would be useful or wouldn't be useful. Park distance control, front and rear. This is, I think, one worth having. At least people expect parking sensors on a car like that, generally speaking.
Yeah.
There is a reversing camera available.
That's in another package, isn't it?
That's part of the package, but at least parking sensors. Definitely an option I would have on the 3 Series. What about you?
No.
No?
No. I cannot stand parking sensors. Reverse camera, I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Parking sensors go absolutely mental when you're 3 feet away from the vehicle behind you. And you do get people who are trying to reverse into a parking space that is absolutely enormous for their car, but But because they've got parking sensors front and rear, they go, oh my god, I'm too close to the car behind, I'll just try and remember. No, I'm too close to the car. And they've got acres of room.
Yeah.
And it's actually been detrimental to parking, in my opinion.
It's funny you should mention it, because the parking sensors and the camera are both available in what we call an advanced parking package. This is an £895 option. I believe you can specify them separately, certainly the parking sensors, but if you wanted both, it's £895. I don't know what you think about that. Do you think that's worth maybe 900 quid?
No, because I don't want the sensors.
I'd
I'd rather just have the reversing camera, or have the reversing sensor that I have already attached to my 2002 Rover, the tow bar.
That sounds good, that. Okay, moving swiftly on. I think either of them you're not going to lose your money on.
No.
We have one here called the Interior Comfort Package. Now this is quite a popular option on the 3 Series. I've seen many cars fitted with this.
Yeah.
And at £590 it's relatively good value.
And the thing is, it won't actually hurt the residual value of the car. It's actually it is worth having, actually.
I think
it just brings everything that little bit higher.
So this includes a number of things. So number one, heated front seats. Some people aren't too bothered about these. Personally, again, on a 3 Series, I think this is an absolute must-have option, particularly if you have leather upholstery. I have seen them with leather and without heated seats, and to me, that just don't really make sense. The two kind of go
They do.
hand in hand, I think.
I mean, we talked about new car prices here and speccing up as a new car, but having looked around, and we do specialise in filming the cars at in the second-hand area, you do actually notice as well price trends, and when you don't have the heated seats, it is actually a significantly lower price compared to the one next to it, which is pretty much identical spec with the heated seats, and it can actually be the difference, the actual price of that add-on as well.
That doesn't happen very often either.
No.
With options, but yeah, that's certainly the case. Now, also included in the interior comfort package, extended storage. Now, this doesn't really specify what that is, so I can't give you a vast amount of information on this.
I can.
You know what that means?
Yeah. So you've actually got storage bins in the back.
Yeah.
So the back seats. You do get those little extended storage bins, and so in the seats.
Yeah.
They're there.
Okay.
So yeah.
And the final thing with the interior comfort package, front armrest. Again, I've got this in my Astra.
Well, it's adjustable.
It is adjustable.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing.
And I do like an armrest in a car. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I do.
I think. So with the interior comfort package, £590, heated front seats, extended storage, and front armrest. I think that's worth having. Okay then, media package. Malcolm.
Well, yeah. So there are actually 2 media packages available. The standard one is £840 and does include a sat-nav system. Now, it has a few other additional features in there as well, and so, but with the £1,435 option, you get extended sat-nav functions, and you also get, which one was it?
It's the head-up display.
Yeah, you get the head-up display.
And the concierge service.
Yes, and the concierge service as well. So if you're actually wanting the head-up display, you are looking at £1,435. But if you just want the extended media functions, it's £840.
I think at the end of the day, the majority of people just want a sat-nav. So I think they're fairly happy with the slightly more basic system. If you are a long distance driver, or you're in the car a lot, you might well benefit from the more advanced system.
Yeah, because I would certainly say, and I've seen these in a few of the BMWs, and when we did the BMW special, we got some shots of it. The head-up display is pretty clear, it's pretty good, it doesn't get in your way, and when I test drove a i8 last year, you've got this head-up display in front of you. It's not in your way, it's not taking up any particular, it's not diverting you away from the road to check the speed all the time.
Yeah.
And it's clear, it's precise, it's perfect.
Okay, moving on. So, we're moving now on to the more individual options available instead of the packages. We'll just picked a few out, ones that we think might be popular, or things that might be worth it, and what might
Yeah.
not be worth it. Okay, Harman Kardon hi-fi system, £675. Now, this is one of them that's going to divide opinion, because I have experienced a Harman Kardon hi-fi system in a Vinub and in some minis actually, because there's some system in minis. It is an excellent sound system.
Well,
it's not my favourite
Yeah.
of the branded ones that you can get fitted as standard in cars these days or from factory. It is an excellent system.
Yeah.
I think this is one of them ones that really depend on the sort of person you are. If you really like your music, it's worth having. If you don't, or if you're not too concerned, personally I would save the money on that one.
Yeah.
And stick with the standard system. This is one for you, Malcolm.
Ooh.
£825.
Yeah.
TV function.
Pointless.
Agreed. Moving on. Okay. Right, now this is a real contentious one. This is. I'm a fan of them, and I would have it on the car or over almost pretty any other option, bar possibly the gearbox I'm trying to paint. Malcolm isn't. Electric glass sunroof on the 3 Series. Okay, now the cars that I've seen this on tend to be the more higher spec versions. I can't recall seeing it on a 318, not recently at least anyway. £895. So you've really got to want one. Now, in my opinion,
Okay.
if you're the sort of person like me that does like a sunroof on a car, and I think cars these days do have a bit of a problem with the fact that they are very dark inside.
Yeah.
It can be quite
I'd agree
dark and
with that,
dingy,
yeah.
especially depending on the colour of the headlining. I would have a sunroof. It's an expensive option at £895, but it's certainly one I would have. It makes a real difference to the ambience of the interior.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain why you possibly wouldn't have one?
I mean, I haven't had a sunroof in a car since probably my Renault Laguna.
Right. Which was when?
Ooh. When did we get rid of that? About 2007 we got rid of that. And no, 2008. And to be fair, I've not missed it.
I think it's one of the things. I've had cars with them. I've maybe got a car without one. Personally, it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
But you've really got to want one to spend £895 on one.
Yes.
M Sport suspension.
If you're getting a 318 SE, it's not really.
It's not worth 315 quid.
No. You'd actually be better off, probably, going for the 318 Sport.
Or do you mean this just the Sport or the M Sport? Because of course there is two.
Just the 318 Sport.
Yeah, I think at 315 quid for the M Sport suspension on a 318 SE, you're probably wasting your money on that one.
Yeah, it won't make any difference.
It won't make the slightest bit of difference to the after sale value, I would have thought. Electric front seats with driver memory at £945. Now, this is a difficult one because it's a very nice option to have and it's a very desirable option to have, but that is a hell of a lot of money.
For a seat.
It's a nice option to have. That's a heck of a lot of cash for it though.
Yeah.
Personal preference on that one.
You could actually buy a sofa for your house.
You could
for that.
You could, yeah.
And get more use after that.
The other thing we're going to mention, rear folding headrest at 50 quid now. Come on.
50 quid's not a bad price, but yeah.
Can I just say, we're talking about a car here with an on-the-road price of nearly £28,000.
Yeah.
And they want to charge you 50 quid for folding rear headrests.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I think we need some perspective here.
basically, if you want those, haggle.
I won't bother out of principle. Okay, Malcolm.
Oh, now then.
Lane departure warning.
Lane departure warning. So if you're starting to wave out of the lanes and you're not indicating, of course, you've got the option. The car will, bring you back into the middle, and you've actually got that servo assistance on the steering wheel from the get-go.
This is quite a popular option now. I've seen on this as an option a lot cheaper actually on cars as basic as even the Vauxhall Viva.
Well, you've also got to
city
think,
cars now have this.
Yeah, but you've got to think as well. You've got a just short of £28,000 car here, and the Kia Stinger, which is just a few £1,000s more than this, has it as standard in the UK.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
There is, of course, the argument that you shouldn't really need it. because if you're driving sensibly and you're obeying the road rules, you shouldn't need a lane departure warning system.
No.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Last one that we're going to go through on the 3 Series, or I think it's the last one unless we choose any more. Apple CarPlay, £235 mark, and this is your area.
I wouldn't pay £235 for it. Yes, it can take over the screen, and you've got the whole thing there. But then again, you can get one of those, air blower clip-on things, and your phone is there.
Yeah.
Sorry, but £235. No. Unless they're going to say to me, "Oh, we'll throw it in for free."
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother.
It brings us to the end of the options we're going to go through. Now, as I mentioned, the 318 SE on the road in the United Kingdom is £27,800.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell the viewers, Malcolm, what it's possible to specify it up to if you went absolutely crazy and specified every option available on that car? This is entry level 3 Series.
So the entry level 318 SE with every single available package and option selected comes onto the road at £47,555.
So
for that, you can buy a 335D.
X-Drive Shadow Edition. In other words, the top of the range diesel 3 Series in the UK is only £1,000 cheaper. So we're talking a 318 there. It's possible to specify it up unbelievably with £20,000 almost worth of options.
So you've nearly bought the car twice.
I'm not convinced many people are going to do that, Malcolm.
Wow.
A base model 3
You
Series.
could actually buy a top of the range Stinger and have around about £5,000 change.
It does kind of bring it to perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like I say,
that's the V6 twin turbo.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not convinced many people are going to do that. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Specify the 318 with £20,000 worth of options. But it does go to show what you can do, and just to be careful not to go mad on the options list when you buy a new car. Okay, so that was the optional extras feature with the BMW. I hope you enjoyed that. Moving on now to another German car, but one slightly different in terms of performance. We've got a Golf R, and a very nicely and highly spec one at that as well, so hope you enjoyed. Right, well, okay, here we are in the facelifted Golf R. This is a 2017 model, so it's one of the first ones of the facelift. Obviously, in the console here, that's your main menu. For all your functions from the main menu, and of course the touch buttons at the side. Radio, of course, and as with the last Golf R, this is a much bigger screen than in the last car. You can go through that via your buttons there. Then your media, of course, and that means you can plug in obviously iPods, that kind of thing, as you would normally do in most cars these days. Your phone, obviously you can connect your phone to the car with Bluetooth, very good system, much updated compared to the old one, and of course you do have voice control there as well. In terms of your navigation, as I said, it is a bigger screen than the pre-facelift pre-facelift Golf. Very, very clear and actually very straightforward from what I can tell there. And of course, you've got your assumption there for touching the screen. So as the screen senses your finger coming up to it, it will give you the options there that it thinks you may use. In terms of apps, of course, you can connect again to the car with your App Connect there. The car function gives you the parameters of the car, so you can check your oil level, all that kind of thing remotely on this car, and tells you how the car is performing at any point in time, your MPG and all that kind of thing, of course. The dual zone climate control in this car, and you can use that function pretty simply. You've got all the buttons there to use that system, and it is a very simple to use dual zone climate control system, with obviously your demist and all your usual buttons there as you expect. This car also has the optional heated seats, of which they are 3-stage for driver and passenger, Very nice in this particular car, obviously with it having the leather. You can have heated seats without leather, but if you do have the leather, very useful. This one coming down is fitted with the optional DSG gearbox. It's a twin clutch gearbox, as we've come to expect from VW. You have your normal functions there, neutral, drive, and nudge it over there into sport mode. You can then use the paddle shifts to change gear, which is really nice in a performance car. As with most cars these days, it does have a stop-start function. You can turn that off by pressing that button there, and that will not operate. Then you can turn your traction control off if you so wished. That is on, of course, by default unless you do that. And then you've got your parking sensor button there to turn the front sensors off, mainly the front sensors. That's for in circumstances where you would not need that function. You have the auto hold function as well, obviously for hill starts, because of course this car does have electronic handbrake. Moving on to the console here, you've got your LCD display there. It is, of course, a lot more updated again compared to the pre-facelift Golf. It's surprising how many updates, small updates, can make such a big difference. Very, very clear and easy to understand, and your buttons there on the steering wheel for certain functions as well. You can use your phone on that side, voice control there of course as well, and your cruise control, which again, very easy to operate. Moving over here, of course, you've got your lights. They're in the off position at the moment. You've got the auto lights there as well, which I think most people leave it in the auto light function, as you'd expect. You don't really need to think about that too much then. Onto the door, your usual mirror controls, heated electric of course. They are power folding on this particular car too. Your door lock buttons and front and back windows. And not forgetting of course the stop start button. It is a push button start on this car. You just need to put on the brake and you can start the engine. Stalks there, you've got your indicators and your wipers on that side, as you'd expect. Like I said previously, this car does have the optional leather seats. As standard they come with cloth seats. It is very desirable to have the leather, and I think it really does make the car extremely comfortable, very supportive seats, without being too bucket-like that they're uncomfortable. Just give you the exact right amount of support. It's very comfortable indeed. And of course the appeal with the Golf R and the Golf in general is its breadth of abilities. It's a practical family car. You can use it for doing your shopping, you can use it for days out. It's got a big boot, plenty of space in the back, and in the case of the Golf R, it's a performance machine as well. Like I said before, 310 horsepower in this car. I really think in most cases is all you're ever going to need. It's fantastic. This car does have the optional panoramic roof, which I really do think sets the car off. It is one of the must-have options. It makes such a difference to the lighting inside the car. Obviously, being a Golf R, it has the black anthracite headlining, and it really does need that light, I think, let in the car. The 19-inch Pitoria wheels really do set the car off. One of the must-have options, I think, on the Golf R. We mentioned, of course, the roof there really does make the difference to the interior ambience, we could say. The Lapis blue paint. There's a number of colour options available on the Golf R. In my opinion, this is my favourite. It does really set the car off. Chrome wing mirror covers. Now, you can have optional black wing mirrors. I think the chrome ones really stand out and actually work well contrasting with the blue paint. This kind of power, it's absolutely phenomenal performance tool. With, of course, four-wheel drive to put all that power on the road and keep things nice and safe. It really is the car for all purposes. There's a few cars that I could think of that if someone asked me which one would I have to do everything, this would be in the running without a shadow of a doubt. It just does everything you need with all the gadgets, all the safety technology that's fitted to Golfs and VWs in general these days. Typical Golf really, very, very nice, very well thought out, and the R is no different to that. The exterior, the quality, you can tell instantly it's a quality build. It's a really, really nice place to be, as you'd expect from VW in general, and especially for the Golf R. It's a car that does everything. It's practical, it's quick, it doesn't cost the earth to run. It really is the car for all purposes. So that was the Golf R.
Quite a stunning car, really, wasn't it?
It was a stunning car. The colour set it off. I know the day we walked into the showroom and saw that, we knew exactly which car we were going to film.
I personally think that colour is Golf R.
Yeah.
That colour.
Yeah, I think
To me, it's like your older Focus RS was the ultimate green.
Oh, and the ST was the orange. It is a lot of cars have signature colours, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
I think that suits it well.
Yeah.
I think that's. But if you're going to go for a Golf R, that's the colour to have it in. I can't really see any other colour standing out quite that well.
No,
I think with the silver mirrors as well.
Yeah.
they work, don't they?
The silver mirror sets it off. You can option them in black, but I think
If you were going to get the car in sort of a silvery grey colour, then the mirrors would be lost. You'd lose that definition, that detail. So yeah, the blue with those mirrors, stunning.
so. That was the Golf R. Just a couple of things we're going to discuss now.
Oh, I know something to actually mention.
Go on.
Wankel engines. Mazda are bringing back the Wankel engine. No sniggering.
I honestly thought this was a joke.
I did. I thought it was a joke.
I thought this was just a random text message just to make me laugh at this, but obviously not.
Yes, Mazda are looking to bring their rotary engines back, which are officially known as Wankel engines. But they are going to use them as range extenders in the electric vehicles, in the same way that BMW do with the i3.
Yeah.
Right.
You can buy the i3 as an all electric, or you can buy it with a range extender, which is basically an engine.
Doesn't that then become a hybrid?
Technically, yes, but it's an optional hybrid rather than an actual hybrid.
An optional hybrid because you chose it to be a hybrid?
Yes, because if you are choosing to have a range extender fitted.
Why are the car companies giving us this much choice?
Anyway, Mazda.
Yes, so Mazda are bringing back the Wankel rotary engine last seen in the RX
8?
8, yes,
Yeah.
the RX 8. And that will be back by 2020.
Do you know I kind of liked that car?
Yeah.
Except for the silly way.
Do you know something?
Yeah.
The thing that I remember about that car was what incredibly good value it was. Because even when it was brand new, you were only talking about £23,000. And the options list was quite small as well. You had, I think, the choice of heated leather seats, you had a choice of a sunroof, and you had a choice of whether it was, I think it was a 190 horsepower 5-speed or a 230 horsepower 6-speed.
But imagine being at a party. What are you driving these days? Oh, well,
A Mazda.
Mazda.
Yeah.
What engine has it got? Well, it's got a Wankel engine.
Wasn't it a 1.3 or something? Like, or they come to
It was a
1.3?
1.3, I think, or at least a 1. Something like that, 1.4,
Yeah.
1.3.
Now, the thing with those though is, of course, I mean, Saab's first car had a rotary engine in it.
Yeah.
And of course, they're fine so long as you don't actually stop sort of tapping the engine, because the engine's oil flow comes from the fuel. And of course, with the Saab, when it was going downhill and you didn't really want to use your accelerator, you had to keep dabbing it, and of course, then put the brakes on to stop yourself from going stupidly fast. Of course, the brakes were absolutely rubbish, and you're having to tap the accelerator. Yeah. So you basically took your life into your own hands.
But to be fair, you expected that with Saab.
You did.
Bonkers and all that, but Mazda.
But Mazda, you've got an engine that does quite reasonably efficient for a Wankel engine, but you had to have all that fuel going in to actually give it the oil.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did it not use a lot of oil?
Yeah, because they use oil as part of they use the oil
Yeah.
in the fuel as part of the lubrication. So
Yeah.
you don't only have to keep topping up the fuel, you also have to keep topping up the oil.
Yeah.
And if you weren't actually accelerating, there was no oil flow around the engine.
Right.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Nah. It could very well be a range reducer if things go seriously wrong.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously with modern technology these days, you would hopefully think it'd be a lot more reliable as well, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just as important as the performance, really, isn't it?
It was more reliable, but the biggest problem was compared to a similar engine, rotary engines were actually a lot less efficient and a lot more polluting. And that was something that paid to things like the C111 program from Mercedes.
And that's an important thing to consider, particularly here in the UK, obviously, because cars, of course, are the road tax on cars is based on their emissions.
Yeah.
So
Although that is possibly changing.
Again? They always seem to change it.
you see what I'm saying? So that was the Mazda. The next item on the agenda is saloon cars, or small saloon cars in particular. A couple of months ago here in the UK, Honda reintroduced the Civic Saloon. Now this is, I think, if I'm right in saying, probably raised a few eyebrows because...
Bit of a daring move, isn't it?
Traditionally in the UK, small saloon cars, particularly those with non-premium badges, do not sell. Volkswagen, about a year or so ago, canned the Jetta over here. And that was partly due to, I think, poor sales, but partly due to the fact that that car simply as well come to the end of its life cycle. But because of the sales, obviously, it wasn't really worth them reintroducing a new model.
The last couple of generations of Mondeo didn't have a saloon option.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the same also with things like the Vauxhall Astra, the Ford Focus. You can buy them as saloons in other markets, but just not here. Not for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, surely.
Easily.
So yes, Honda introduced a new Civic Saloon, and the thing we wanted to discuss was, do small saloon cars only sell with a premium badge? Because as we've mentioned earlier in the episode, the 3 Series is one of Britain's most popular cars.
Yeah, and that's only available as it's available as a saloon, a GT, and I think there's an estate as well now. But it tends to be more the saloon that sells in this country.
Why? Why do we think?
I don't know.
Is it the fact it's got a premium badge that makes it sell, whereas a car like...
You'd always think the badge is a selling point, but...
Well, here's something. They keep telling us that SUV sales are growing, which they are. But the whole car market as a whole, the new car market, has collapsed year on year. And at the same time, the second-hand market has grown year on year.
Yeah.
To the point where earlier this year, second-hand car markets and finance on second-hand cars outgrew finance on new cars. Right. It's actually a bigger market. So, what's the most traded second-hand car?
3 Series?
A saloon.
A saloon, generally, yeah. So, if the market for is it the fact that the market for saloons has shrunk because they're just not being offered? Or is it actually
all these you see now are filtering down, you're getting good quality used cars now.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, well, I think what a lot of people think of saloon cars is, yes, they do usually have a massive boot on them, but sometimes the access can be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Oh, the borer.
So that I think puts people off.
The Volkswagen boring.
Yeah.
And I think what we're trying to sort of discuss is the SUV boom that's happening over here now
a genuine boom, or is it just the fact that no?
Or is it going to last?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll last.
No, I don't.
I think it'll peter out.
Well, the EcoSport's a really good example because you don't actually get much more practicality out of it for such a big vehicle on a small platform.
The thing is, this obviously the fashion for 4x4s has happened before. This happened sort of around the early 90s. It's the reason why people like Vauxhall first introduced the Frontera 4x4, because at the time people were buying them sort of cars.
Yeah.
So is it just a phase, do you think, or do you think this is going to continue long term? I think that's the question, really.
I don't think it will. Not long term.
I have some breaking news.
Oh, go on.
I thought I'll just throw this into the pot.
Oh. Wait, is this the kind of pot that Elon Musk has?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, we're quite safe there.
Maybe it's 50
it is kind of electrifying news if you want, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
That's the extent of the jokes you get on OverDrive, I'm afraid. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah. And this is no joke.
It isn't.
Those of you that have seen episodes in the past will know I had, and I stress had, a Ford Puma.
Very nice it was too.
It was. It had its moments, as we know.
Yeah.
But I let the old girl go while it was, let's say, still running.
After a bypass.
After the bypass. Yeah, after the bypass.
Open heart surgery.
Keep going, you mother, keep going. And like I say, so that one went, and we have a replacement. We have an all new, brand new.
And it is brand new.
It is brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Ford Fiesta ST line, which, oh no, on episode 13 we shall be reviewing and having a look at.
And this is a bit of a new thing for OverDrive as well, because it's the first time we've done a new car, isn't it? I believe.
Well, not really a new car. The EcoSport would have been a new car.
The EcoSport was
relatively new, yeah. Yeah.
Good 8 or 9 months new, let's say.
By the time we got to it. By the time I got to it.
Yeah, the ST, the yellow ST that I had, which you may have seen, that was just over 8 years old, so relatively new. But this is brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Only got it on Saturday. Whenever you see the video, that's Saturday the 29th of September, I got it.
I think we're both, we're all looking forward to having a review of that, aren't we? And,
Yeah, I will report so far. I won't spoil any reviews, but so far, it's a cracking car.
So we should be seeing that later on.
We will. I just thought I'd have a bit of breaking news there. I thought I'd best announce it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
With that, we'd better wrap up the episode, or it's going to last another 20 years.
And we'll have cobwebs hanging off us and we'll still be sat here.
And our partners will be sort of at us with pitchforks.
Yeah, I'm already situated at home, so I can get cracking on tea.
We do kind of need to get home, to be fair. Don't we?
Stick around forever.
Much as Martin would like us to.
You can't wait to get rid of us, really.
Just open the door.
But that's it for
yes, I think
12.
On that conclusion, another good episode in the bag there, and we'll look forward to seeing you and you seeing us in episode 13.
Oh God.
Yeah, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Don't worry. So it's my thanks to all you guys again, and
thank you, Martin.
Another good
Thank you,
episode.
Craig.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a nice one to film. We've done a few miles on this one as well, haven't we?
We have
So
Northumberland.
And various other places. So hope you enjoyed it. And for episode 12, that is a wrap.
That is a wrap, as I say.
See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So, hope you enjoy it and enjoy.